myself. Why not? Well, difficult and not simultaneously, in some ways. Assuming it'll show up on screen. Come on, OBS. Come on. There it goes. You're not hearing anything at the moment because the music's not active. Just give it a second, I'll get that fixed. Go. F-Zero maximum velocity. Now, we have done an F-Zero game here before. We did the original Super Nintendo one. Now we've got the Game Boy Advance. It's maximum velocity. There we go. Now we can hear things. And volume seems to be okay, but I'm gonna bump it slightly down because I'm sure it's gonna get louder. Sorry to hear that, Zeri, but welcome in. I don't know why Twitch keeps giving you issues like that. I really don't know what causes those, unfortunately. It's me. We'll see if I can be at all capable of driving. Grand Prix. So let's see, we got Hot Violet, Fireball, JB Crystal, Windwalker, and that's it. Looking at the statistics. I have no idea what the OBS restart's about either. But then again, considering the way things have been, I'm pretty sure Twitch is not so secretly fighting most of us these days. Fireball doesn't have the highest speed, but it does seem like it's overall decent. Its turning is terrible, though. Like, its turn performance is bad, but its balance is good, and I don't know what that means. You know what? We're going with the Fireball. Do the Pawn Series, Beginner Class, and we'll go from there. Yonka City Stretch Circuit. Okay, it seems like A is go. Yep, sure is. Okay. Right, I didn't need to grab boost yet because we can't use it till after lap 1. Assuming these operate as normal. And we're dead already. That might not be OBS then. That might just be the way Twitch has been these days. Because I've definitely had numerous random hiccups from Twitch in the past month or two. Now, I can't guarantee anything, of course, because, you know, that may also just be any number of odd things happening on my end, too, that I don't know about. But I've not seen any proof of that, so it's hard to say. What's up, Zeri? Here. Four laps left. Okay, well, we're not doing great at the moment, but I'm getting a handle on how to control this thing. That ramp just exists to kill you. And this being stage 1, where they just have a random ramp in the middle of the road to throw you off the cliff, is interesting. I must be missing a control somewhere. Like where I can turn better or something. Or that's just what just what the turn performance thing means and our... Oh no, there's the leaning. Okay, the leaning does exist. No, I see it now. Thank you for the resub, Zeri. Bear in mind, these things are hella delayed because everything about Twitch takes an extra, like, minute or two because Twitch is such a wonderful service. Like, it'll pop up when it pops up. When you press a button, it doesn't necessarily do it instantly. Yeah, that's because Twitch was working properly before. It hasn't been working well, like, this year at all, I've noticed. Compared to before. There we go. I'm starting to get a feel for this. I was hoping to try to, like, knock him off course. Help my own cause a little bit here. I need the healing pad desperately, though. There we go. That'll help enough. Oh, that's good. Glad to hear you're getting extra money. I appreciate that. Oh, we're suffering. Can I manage to recover enough? Because we are in 6th place right now, which is basically we're dead. Like, I think, yeah, 7th got eliminated, so we actually are okay for the 2nd, but I need to get ahead and stay ahead. It's fine. We will make it work no matter what. Unlike this car, we're not making this car work no matter what. Especially when the guy behind me bumps me and immediately finishes the job. We might need to use a different vehicle. The turning on this might be just so bad. Windwalker's got the best turning performance. Hot Violet's got decent performance. Let's try Windwalker, see if what I'm understanding about how the turning works is true. Is if we don't notice much of a difference here, it may not matter what the turning performance is. And I just need to figure out how to drive better. We're off the line a lot better that time. I don't understand why my engine's just kind of cut out sometimes. 'Cause I didn't let go of A at all or anything, and it just kind of slowed down. Without me hitting anything, either. It's very weird. The turning is definitely stronger on this. Tapping the thrusters does seem to matter quite a lot for regaining control. The problem is, F-Zero has a few cardinal rules to it, but every game is also a little bit different with how it handles, so I'm having to learn from scratch every time, even if I was paying attention before. Like, whenever you hear that vrong vrong, that's me tapping the thrusters to turn better. And it seems like that's the move, but it doesn't always work, and that's why I'm confused. Also, our rank hasn't changed, even though we've passed a bunch of people. So I'm wondering if me and all of the other people toward the lead have just lapped so many people. Yeah, because there's number 3. Okay, yeah, we're just genuinely just lapping a bunch of the lower rankers. I saw the number 3 at the edge of my vision. There he is. That does work. Seemed like it actually helped them more than it hurt them, though, to have me slam on them like that, even though it launched them across the field. Goddamn Sunday drivers, just driving in a straight line in the middle of a race. What are you doing? Okay, final lap and we're in second. Oh, nope, we're in first for now. Let's see if I can keep it, now that I'm understanding what I'm doing. Different car definitely helps, though. I made a small adjustment and it was a mistake. We got somebody right on our tail. Oh, and they're going for the kill, but they're too late. Nah, 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 you were too slow. There we go. We're figuring it out. Apparently, lap 3 was our best lap. Stark Farm, first circuit. Let's see what this course looks like. It sure is a course. Strong off the line. Can I hold it? That's the more important question. I don't understand why the turning is so weird. Like, I understand these are anti-gravity vehicles, so turning is going to be weird. But I swear in other F-Zeros, it's not nearly this floaty, for lack of a better way of putting it. Like, turning actually means something in other ones, whereas here it feels like my turns don't mean anything unless I'm tapping the gas when I turn. Which is bizarre. Like, maybe some of the other ones had a little bit of auto accounting, and that's what I'm not understanding. But definitely got a handle on it now. I need to heal. There we go. Last thing we need is somebody just coming up and taking us out before we finish the course, after all. Oh, come on. I feel like I didn't take that turn that tight, but what do I know? Why are you just parked in the middle of the road? Then again, I was that guy not that long ago, huh? Considering how terribly I was doing earlier. But it's fine. Everything's fine. We're doing great. We're still in first. We've got somebody right on our tail, but, you know, don't worry about that part. It's fine. Until they're in front of us, they're not real. They don't exist. Got a good amount of health, and we've got a solid lead ahead of us. We don't seem to have boost power or anything, though. Even though it said that there's a boost available. No, we're in second now. My first place. No. All because one jerk was sitting in the middle of the road. And now we're in third. That's how F-Zero goes. That's just the nature of the beast. There we go. Bump him off the road. We'll at least take second. I'll take second place. That's fine. Bear in mind, that might just... Oh, there we go. There are 3 boosts down there. Just none of the buttons I would have expected were doing it, I guess. Maybe it's select, then? There's only so many Game Boy Advance buttons, so... I'm used to the whole trading your health for boost thing. And we don't have any boosts until later, as is normal. That I understand. These guys were faster off the line than I was, but that's okay. less okay that they're attacking me like that. Pretty proud of how aggressively we took that turn. We managed to actually just whip right through there. Yeah, see, now we got a boost. How do I use it? This is not, in fact, select. Start doesn't do it, for obvious reasons. Ah, both shoulder buttons. There we go. Now we're going. Now we're grooving. Out till I hit a wall. And then all hell started to break loose in my life. But we've figured it out. We understand the mechanic now. Though, man, that Hot Violet is very fast. Like, they are staying consistently ahead of us, outside of on straightaways, which makes sense. We do have the highest top speed, I believe, in the Windwalker. And it probably would help my cause immensely if I'd stop hitting walls. That was a very aggressive decision I made, and it was not a good one. Or was it? Because now we're ahead. The second is they are right behind us. Yep, and now they're ahead of us again. All because of the random Sunday drivers out in the middle of the road. Ah, the turning is such a pain. Okay, final lap. We just need to do slightly better than we've been doing, because we are, like, dancing with this car right now. So all I need to do is just outperform them even a little bit, and we'd be in business. What I really should do is just save my boost for, like, the last little bit there. But I'm getting the shit stomped out of me now, so that ain't happening. Especially when my boost doesn't fire the first time and then fires after I'm already pointed at a wall. Thanks, game. Don't know why it didn't fire the first time. I definitely pressed both shoulders, but maybe I didn't press one of them hard enough? Can't believe we got screwed on the last lap, though. I have to assume they decided to be more aggressive. Like, they actively started crashing into me. Because the red guy definitely actively attacked us. Like, you saw them just come right up behind us and slam into us. Just to knock us off course. One little bump, though, and I keep losing control so hard. If I could just have every lap be like that one, we'd be so in business. But I cannot seem to retain control of that degree. Like, sometimes I can take these corners super tight with the mashing, and then other times, like, no, that doesn't actually work that way. Of course, you got Clown Shoes McGee over there in the middle of the road again. We'll disregard the healing pads this lap. Try to gain more of a lead to give us room to use the healing pads on the next lap. I'm hoping that that boost lets us get some space, though, based on... So you're telling me that I boosted through that whole straightaway, and yet somehow you were still right on my fucking ass the whole time? You're trying to tell me that that's what just happened there? Like, don't get me wrong, I hit a bad bump there, but they shouldn't have been able to capitalize on it the second I hit that. That seems ridiculous. The ads are gonna start. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out this race probably, just so I don't get thrown off too much. But I won't start the next race until after the ads are done. That's gonna be the best compromise I can offer y'all. Because you've seen this course already. While there will be some tension as to whether I'll make it or not, I think it'll be okay. If you really want to see how the outcome works out, you could always hit that subscribe button. Or, if you'd rather have options, you know, you could hit Twitch Turbo too, I guess. That is an option as well. Or get your ad blockers to actually work, which is a mixed bag with Twitch these days, but I wouldn't judge you for it. There we go, just in time for the ads, actually. That's perfect. Let's go. As soon as it lets me pause, I'll pause. There we go. Gonna have another musicless ad moment, but that's okay. It's just the text box moving along. Get that replied to. Which also means I can keep in mind that that's a thing happening that I don't need to pay attention to. Double check to make sure I'm not missing anything important while the ads are running. That in mind, that I need to reply to that in the future. Ah, that's what happened. Okay. There was like a huge notification pile suddenly. I'm like, did I get in trouble for something? Something going on? But no, everything's fine. Everything is A-okay. It's also supposed to rain today, but I'm not seeing any signs of it. All I'm noticing is muggy and miserable in this area today. But, you know, it be what it be. Let's see. All that's cleared up. Yep, we're basically in good order. Ads are going to be ending here in a minute. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it'll probably be fine. When don't I forget things, right? Right. I know I didn't get up during this ad break, but I'll get up during the next one. It doesn't have to be every hour. Or on the hour. Okay, we have the ads ending here in 15 seconds. So the two ad break managers are desynced again, which is oh so lovely. Thank you for being great at your job, Twitch. Love that. Love that you can never get these things to work properly, apparently. So I'm gonna wait until I see both of them say that the ads are done before I assume the ads are done. Which it'll only be another half a minute, so it's not really an issue. And there we go. Everybody should be back from ads now. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. As you can see, you missed absolutely nothing. I just rambled a little bit while we were sitting here. Now let's see how badly this ends up going when I unpause this. see, I do lose speed if I let go of the button, so I do need to hold it until I need to, like, do tap turning, though. You know what I've always been confused by with these games? Why does the terrain matter if we're not touching it? Like, I have to assume it messes with the way we're hovering over the ground in some way. It's just always weird to me. A little bit. That, like, that's the thing, you know? So it's mostly for the more two-dimensional F-Zeros I've noticed that they do the terrain thing. So maybe it's just the fact that they couldn't represent other hazards as well on, like, the SNES and the Game Boy Advance. So they worked around it as best they could. That would make sense, working within limitations and all that. I probably don't need to be tapping A as much as I am. But I'm just kind of bet hedging whenever I'm going around corners and just mashing the hell out of it. Because it works. So I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna do that. We'll do the thing that works. Don't worry about the details, just do the thing that works. Get out of the way. Like, I probably should be doing the shoulder buttons for more minor turns, so I'm not losing speed as much, but I'm staying ahead, even doing it the way that I'm doing it, so I don't think I need to worry that badly about it. But we're also early on yet, so that might change. It's like, as it is, the second place guy is, like, almost always right on our tail. Especially in situations like this where I started bumping around a bit. Oh, of course you just happened to be parked right where I was going. There we go. Doesn't matter. We still got first, so that's what matters. On final. Cloud carpet long jump circuit. Oh no. I'm willing to anticipate us going flying off these jumps to our death a few times. Notice the giant hole in the map over there, or to our right, and you'll understand what they mean by a long jump circuit. So I'm gonna need to be hitting those jumps going as straight as I can. Otherwise I'm gonna go flying off the map and die. We've only got a handful of spare machines, so I can only afford to do that once or twice. Oh, there's also boost pads on the ends of it. Is God forbid they make it so you can actually just make it across it. That's something you would have had no way to know until you got there. So there was nothing I could have done about that. Short of react a little quicker, but I was nervous about turning hard to try to hit the booster and not throw myself off the map instead. Like, that seemed like a very much a damned if I do, damned if I don't scenario. We could probably use our own booster once we're past the first lap, though, so it won't be as big a problem. It's kind of funny that we almost made it. Just with our own power. But again, we do have some of the highest top speeds, so it makes sense. There we go. That's all you gotta do. It's not a huge difficult thing, it's just a bit of a surprise situation. Like, we knew the jump was coming up, but we didn't know the details. Decent amount of straightaways to boost on as well. But I think I am gonna try my idea about using my boost to avoid having to turn more in this segment. Oh, right. You may be wondering why that sped up. I hit the wrong button. I have a speed up button that I forgot was still bound because I pulled the triggers instead of the the bumpers there. So that happens when I do that. They just all go flying away from me, so that's a lovely accident to have had. So I've just given myself a massive disadvantage right off the top, is that's helpful, right? Like, I was in perfect position to boost there, and then I suddenly sped up into the abyss. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? And then I remembered I hit the wrong button. The things you forget is you don't use them all the time. Now we gotta play catch up. Okay, that did work. Not exactly ideally, based on what just happened there. I didn't get any control of my life there. For those wondering why I just didn't, like, pull out of that or anything, I could not. I literally had no control throughout that entire bounce. This is our last spare machine already. We might be redoing the pawn circuit here in a second. What that tells me is I'm better served not using my boosts to get across there, because you just get screw-jobbed. But on the bright side, I'll be able to start off properly instead of starting off hitting the speed-up key and making all of my opponents zoom away from me at Mach 1,000,000. So I shouldn't need to do that either. The boost pads do seem to be more effective than our booster as well. We get better height off of them. Like, we'll save the boosters for, like, the finishing line straight away here. Wouldn't want to use it here because of this hairpin. It would be a bad idea. Over here wouldn't be the worst idea, but it'd be risky because we'd be going into the boost pads soon afterwards. All it'll take is one time where somebody decides to attack me around the boost pads, though, and we're gonna be in so much trouble. Which is also why boosting ahead on the straightaway is gonna be so important, though, is gaining enough ground to make sure I don't have exactly that happen. Give us some space so that we can avoid getting murdered, you know? Wouldn't want to be the victims of a horrendous accident of any kind. As we all know, that's what that would be termed. It would just be labeled an accident, and it's like, well, that's a shame that happened to him. Well, that's what happens when you take your life in your hands driving these fancy cars. Eventually somebody gonna take you out. God, the fact that that just, like, takes away your controls entirely, too. I should have tapped more, but I'm like, I think I can make that without losing speed. And instead I lost speed by crashing. Get out of here. Speaking of get out of here. Get me out of here. That almost was bad. They wanted me dead real bad at the end there. Somehow lap 3 just keeps being our best one. You see, there's lap 3 as our best lap on Bianca City. Okay, it just lets you sit there and stare at it for a minute. Okay, lap 2 was our best on Stark Farm, though. And then Empyrean Colony, my last lap was actually my best one there because I panicked and just started hammering around every corner. Because I needed to get away. And then second circuit, Stark Farm, third lap was best. And I'm pretty sure this last one, third was our best? Yep, third was our best. So 3 times third was our best, which is an interesting situation there. There we go, that's pawn done. I think I'm gonna stick with the Windwalker because that worked. Night Series Beginner. We just need to finish Night Series and then do the last series, and then that'll be this game done. 10th Zone East, Snake Circuit. Because I think how this works is there's technically only 4 real machines, the 4 we could pick, and then there's a bunch of filler racers. And those are the ones we keep crashing into all the time because they're just kind of hanging around. Like they exist to be obstacles more so than actual competitors. I seem to recall that was the case with the original as well. Okay, yeah. As usual, where the healing pad is would also be a good place to boost. Square turn coming up here actually would not be a horrendous place to do it either, which might sound like a wild concept, but like right after we come out of it over here, is we can zoom up to this, take this turn, okay. This is where it gets hairy. Yeah, maybe that wasn't my finest of ideas. I thought I could get away with it, and I mostly did. I do think we still overall gained ground doing that, but I think I'm better off with my first plan, where we actually, use it on the actual straightaway, instead of going breakneck speeds around square turns. Of course, I forgot that turn was there for some reason. Like, you ever just, like, have a slight distraction moment and just slam into a wall when you're driving at hundreds of miles an hour? Because I know I have. It's not fun. Not good. Don't do it. Do not recommend. Really, just don't crash at any speed. Crashing at any speed is unhealthy. I said this wasn't going to be a mashing game. Instead, I'm panic mashing around corners. And this is the first course of this circuit, I would like to point out. You son of a bitch. Why were you driving like 2 miles an hour in the middle of the road there? Made it. Okay, is 4th lap gonna be the one for this set? Beacon Port Crossroads Circuit. Let's see how this goes for us. Oh no, the healing pad's on the other side this time, and there's a figure 8 randomly. Okay, this is gonna end in tears. People are gonna be crashing into everybody when we get to the figure 8. I pretty much guarantee it. I'm not taking all the boost pads because I want to learn the lay of the land here before we start going at super speeds. Yep, this is the kind of situation I was afraid of. The thing is, the AI is going to be taking the boost pads all the time, and I'm sure, because they can handle these courses way better than I can, which is only going to get worse as the difficulty goes up. And you might think that doing this on beginner's a cop-out, but let's be real here. I am a beginner. And I will never claim to be anything else as far as F-Zero is concerned. God, these boost pads are just traps. They genuinely just have done me nothing but dirty the whole time. I'm just gonna stop using them. I don't need them. They are the tool of the enemy, and I do not need them. Drive a relatively clean race and I'll be fine. Like, that one's an acceptable boost pad to grab. That one isn't. That one's a death trap. Go ahead and boost across the finish line as usual. Thankfully, since nobody's in our vicinity most of the time, we're not actually having a whole pile up in the figure eight like I was afraid of. All the more reason to be boosting where I can. Just gotta make sure not to catch up to too many of the people that matter. Didn't mean to touch that, but I'll make it work. Starting to lose control, though. Come on, brain. Stop touching the boost pads, you reckless fool. Even if it's working. Like, I'm just getting so tempted by them because they're right there in the middle of the road. Like, ooh, what if you touched it, though? The answer? That happens. And then I get passed by somebody. And I lose my first place at the last second because I hesitated. I should have just boosted, but I'm like, it didn't show me the marker, so I don't think that's first place yet. Didn't look up at the top left until I was about to hit the line. It's like, well, never mind. And I looked away, so I didn't see the name of this one. Something about explosive circuit? Looks like a guy doing a wheelie on a very flat bike over there. Thank you for helping me turn better with your face. Oh, yep, there's bombs. There's definitely bombs. Ow. Oh, and there's damage floor too. Okay. I kind of wondered when damage floor was going to show up. Like, it was kind of an inevitability at some point. Healing pad's also in a bit of an awkward spot since it's on a partial turn. But it'll work. Thankfully, once the bombs go off, they seem to stay gone. They just are damage floor instead, which is fine. As long as I'm not hurt a lot when I get to them. Because I'm less scared of damage floor than I am of getting bounced around the arena. And, like, launched from wall to wall over and over again, for example. Just gotta run a good race and we'll be fine. Just don't be stupid and you'll be good. That's all you need. Just don't be stupid. Ow. What part of don't be stupid didn't I understand? Also, I just watched him replace that mine, I think. So I think the pedestrian cars, we'll say, are also replacing the bombs. Or they just replace on their own magically somehow. And personally, I think I like the idea of the mine layer cars better. Because I think in F-Zero 99 you might be able to use that? I seem to recall there's some weird nonsense where you can become a bomb car or something. 99. Never actually played it. I only watched a few people play it. So I don't really know. Just gonna hold off on the boost this time since I'm hurting. Because we're gonna need all the healing we can get. Because the last thing I need is to balls this up now, when we're already doing well. If I was in a desperate spot, like I was behind a couple full spots, I would be much more willing to be aggressive and do something foolish. But here up front, not gonna worry about it. Hex, thank you for the raid. What were you up to today? Hopefully you were having a grand time with whatever it was. You're just in time for F-Zero maximum velocity out of the clearathon. We've completed 1 game so far out of the 5 I need to before that timer down there in the bottom right runs out. And y'all have just increased that timer. Welcome in, welcome in. How's it going, everybody? I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a particularly good driver, but we're making it work here. Wait. To catch you all up on exactly what's happening here now that I've made it across the line, this is the return to the clearathon. The clearathon being I have to beat 5 games before the timer runs out. Sounds good, Hex. Thank you again for bringing your community over, and hopefully you have a good bit of food in you soon. Take care. Yeah, your only things to worry about with this event here for those interested is $10 will add to the count of games I need to clear, or decrease it by 1. You can either make it go up or down. As you probably saw, the timer went up from the raid. Any follows or anything like that will also influence it. Anything monetary will, as you might imagine, influence it. Things like that. This course is messing with me because we're going the other way now. We've literally got a coat hanger to drive on. Okay. Yeah, every game I've got lined up today is a game I've either never played at all, or at the very minimum never beaten. I want to say all but like one of the things on the list today are things... Like, I think I've played one of the games off the list that I've made for this time around. If that tells you anything about how well some of these are going to go. You missed Space Raiders earlier, for those who came in now. That was certainly a game. And it definitely fulfilled the requirement for weird. We cannot gain ground for the life of me at the moment. I'm gonna risk not healing to try to gain some of that ground, and that might get me killed. We'll find out. I've got some spare machines, so I can try for that. Because if I run out of spare machines before the circuit's over, we're disqualified from the circuit by being dead. Turns out dead people aren't allowed to compete in a race. Who knew? Really is just rude if you think about it. I need to heal this time though, or we will just lose. Stop beeping at me, car. I know, it's bad. There we go. Cut ahead of him. Look around these turns. Don't die on the jump. How did you get ahead of me there? Nikolai, thank you for the raid. What were you up to today? I know you had said you were done with Dark Souls 2, and didn't you say you were going back to Dark Souls 1? I seem to recall that that was what you were doing. Hey, I remembered something. Let's go. Yeah, you're just in time for me to be kind of flailing my way through F-Zero maximum velocity here. Or as part of the clearathon. Hopefully your first time playthrough there's been going well. I know that can be a little bit of a rough one for the first go-through, as one who did it not that long ago. Ow, eat my body. Oh, joy. I mean, as long as you're not in there too early, you're probably okay. Tomb of the Giants is kind of miserable, though. I do feel like the catacombs themselves are a little overhyped for being bad. But I also got there pretty late. Oh, that was a choice. Yep, we lost that race. Because our whole thing was broken. Yeah, that's fair. If you don't know, then it makes sense because it is positioned very readily in front of you. If you don't know that it's a bad place to be. But I'm sure you're making it work if you manage to make it through to the tomb. So you might be in a bit of an awkward spot, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, then you're... Okay, I know where you are, then. That I would believe. It being harder to get out of there definitely would make sense. Especially if you had already touched a bonfire down there, so you wouldn't be able to just warp out. Because, you know, why wouldn't you touch the bonfire? It's right there. And things are dangerous. Yeah, if you don't have anything to deal with the wheels from range, they're annoying as all hell. Speaking of wheels, I kind of wish these cars had wheels right now so I could control them better. Use the boost, please. Thank you. I don't know why I have to repeatedly hit my shoulder buttons to get the boost to work, but it definitely is a thing. It's been a thing this whole time. But it's fine. We're still making these races work, so we'll just keep making it work. But I should stop doing my impression of a damn pinball one of these days. It probably would help my performance immensely. Oh, this is probably a good time to note this for those interested, by the way. The Dark Souls 2 playthrough isn't going to be continuing this week because we will be focusing on the Clearathon until the timer is gone. So bear that in mind. There's going to be a week delay between the last session and this next session for it. Which, you know, mildly unfortunate timing since we're a solid bit of the way through, but if I delayed the Clearathon any further, it was going to end up conflicting with Final Fantasy III instead, which would have been a worse problem to have, all things considered. So, you know, we make things work around here. That's what we do best. We make decisions that frequently backfire on me as well, because, you know, life choices are life choices. Case in point, the constant bouncing happening right now because I've lost control of my life and I've got a bastard behind me who keeps bumping me. Yep, we're so dead. We are so dead. Yep, I couldn't make the jump anymore. If I boosted, I was gonna die a different way instead. Before anybody's like, why didn't you boost to make it across the jump? I was going to immediately slam into the wall on the other side if I did that. It would not have helped. I do not have sufficient control to make a sharp turn like that right off of a boost. It was not gonna happen. That's just how it goes. The AI starts getting real aggro towards the latter half of a race. If they can get a hold of you, they just start attacking. And I am nowhere near up to the point where I can start fighting back well enough. Because as far as I can tell, this game doesn't have the spin. And the spin's the only thing I know how to use to fight properly in these games. But I think it only exists in a couple of them. So we're just gonna play a clean race, which makes me sad. I like crashing into people, but it just doesn't benefit me here. So I can't afford to do that. Of course, you know, doing that doesn't benefit me either, and yet I'm apparently very happy to do that all the time. I never said I'm good at only benefiting myself. I feel like with the way I'm driving, it would have flooded my engine a long time ago and just destroyed this vehicle. Considering the way I'm just tapping the gas a lot when I'm turning. But, you know, if that's what the game wants me to do, that's what the game wants me to do. I ain't gonna argue with what works. Yeah, that seems like it's gonna be the play, is purple's gonna pass us slightly, and then we're gonna boost past them at the end again and again. We just gotta hope that we end up in good enough shape that I can get away with doing that. So I do think I like the health bar boost system better than the just you have 3 boosts that you pick up as you do laps. They both have their pros and cons, but I think I do enjoy the risk-reward of the back and forth with the meter more. And it's more controllable because you can actually just, like, cap boost a little bit around corners. If you're wondering, for once I did that on purpose. Yep, there's purple getting out ahead of me. Use the boost, crash into them, and fuck it up. Sadness. The worst part is, we would have had that if I hadn't been turned just that 1 pixel to the side where I ended up lining up with them. Back to Stark Farm. Oh, what is that turn? Look at that C shape on the right where half of it's a jump and the other half's a bunch of turns. Oh, that's gonna be bad. There's gonna be a death there at least once. We just gotta hope that it's an enemy dying instead of us. Haha. I'm definitely going the other way as much as I can think of to do. I'm betting it's gonna be a little slower, but it's gonna be safer than trying to make that jump consistently. Because I don't know what the boost pads look like over there or anything. And somebody out there may be thinking that I'm a coward, and let me tell you, right now, yes. Yes, I am. I am not ashamed to say I'm going to choose the coward's way of driving here. I tried to snipe the boost, but I missed it. Just gotta redo the same loop that we've done, and we'll be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be great, in fact. We're doing so well. What could possibly go wrong? Pay no mind to the strange man right behind us. Everything is fine. Just gonna boost away from our pursuer. I had a brain fart for a second there. I almost took my end out of the middle and it would have been a tragedy. This is why I don't do the best at racing, but for those wondering. I start to zone out when I'm just driving in a straight line for too long. So I end up risking crashing into the first turn after a long straight bit. Or even just like a bunch of repeated turns, my brain just starts going like, okay, I can autopilot this. I don't need to think about it. which is very dangerous to be doing in a game like this. Goodbye, bystander car. You've just crashed yourself into the wall for some reason. There we go. That was actually like a shockingly easy race. Yeah, that lap 4 was clean. 10th Zone East Snake Circuit was our 4th lap. We've actually gotten through the night set, I want to say cleaner than we did the first one, but that's in part because I didn't just keep exploding on the first course over and over again, because I was realizing how to use my controls. 3rd lap on Beacon Port. Sinobaz was at 4, which makes sense. That was the time when I finally realized how not to crash into the mines. Ancient Mesa was a mess. Didn't really pull that one together till the last lap. And my times are pretty consistent. In like every course, we're within like 2 of our times, which is, I would say, pretty good. Being consistent's not a bad thing. That is 2 circuits down. We just have 1 left to go. Oh, to put this on the clear list too. We just have Bishop Series. Because thankfully I didn't put any requirement on this where I have to like beat it on higher than beginner or anything. I just have to get through it. This might take multiple tries though. Yonka City Tightrope Circuit. Okay, great. That doesn't look terrible. Haha. I'm sure there's a catch. And we're gonna find out what that catch is real soon. Unless the catch is just that the road's thin, which honestly, that's fine. Thin road I can do. Especially since it's a thin road that still has the bumpers on it, so I don't have to have the constant fear of sliding off the course at all. There we go, we got boost power. Just need to use these boosts wisely. It was a little spicier than it needed to be, but it worked. Son of a bitch. I thought I was gonna squeeze past him. We're missing a little tiny bit of health still, but I think it'll be okay as long as I don't do anything too stupid. Like we don't graze that wall this time, for example. Don't graze that one either. We are not a cow. We don't need to be grazing. God damn it. What part of we didn't need to be grazing didn't I understand? Gain some ground on the guy behind us again. As long as we don't go down to like halfway, I'm not super concerned about healing on this course. This course isn't that bad. The bad part's my driving. Is it just weird that they just keep reusing the same cityscape in the background with different colors? Oh, I dinged him. Really doesn't take much, but then again, we don't have any traction or anything considering, you know, we're not attached to the ground. So it'd be a little bit of a problem. It is fascinating how the entire course blinks when somebody hits a wall, by the way. Yeah, that was clean. That was actually pretty clean. I'm sure it's going to take a nasty turn for the worse here soon when we start getting into the later courses of the circuit. Because you can't tell me that this is going to be an easier circuit than the other two. There's no way. Ancient Mesa Skating Circuit. Oh no, there's gonna be ice again, isn't there? I don't like that 0 that's over there. I feel like I'm gonna get divided by that 0. You can always tell when I'm getting kind of twitchy when the fin on the back of my car is flicking. Why was it yelling at me to turn around? Like, I never was facing the wrong way, but I wasn't facing the course necessarily, so I think it may have just been getting mad there. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad. This course is going to be a rough one for us, I think. I took that better this time, though, so maybe, just maybe, we might have some sense of what I'm doing. Haha. He says as he slams into a wall. Ow. Oh, of course he bumps me right when the booster finally fires. Thanks, game. Love that for me. Like, I had to sit there and hit it 3 times for the booster to kick in that time. You could probably hear the wild clacking of the shoulder buttons as I'm trying to get the booster to fire. I don't know if, like, my fingers are just, like, desynced in their timing just by, like, the 1 frame they need to be, or what. There we go. We're starting to get a bit more control of this situation. And I say that as I immediately get put into a flat bounce again somehow. Okay, at least it's only the final lap. It just wouldn't boost again, by the way, because I definitely was hitting it and just was like, nah, nah. Really, really wishing the boost was a dedicated button. We are so dead, though. Like, we're not gonna have enough power because of the damage we took, I think, to be able to gain enough ground to get second back without getting the boost right. Got it! Okay, we managed to steal back second. Couldn't get first, but we made it at least. We've yet to place under second if we've made it to the end and survived. So I'll take solace in that at least. Craterland Skid Zone Circuit. That doesn't sound good either. There's a lot of holes. Okay, at least the healing zone's easy this time, so that's not bad. Got a bunch of boost pads. Oh, it's this bit. Kind of like how the wind in F-Zero 1 worked in some places. It's just conveyor belts, essentially, this time. Oh, there's a second healing zone, though, which is really kind of them. Just gonna go right for the boost. Because of the way this course is laid out, I can do that. Why were you parked there? Why are you like this? Like, that guy was just parked there as literally just a fuck this guy in particular move. And I happen to be this guy. Like, could I have bumped purple into that? Absolutely. Am I good enough to do that? Absolutely not. I mean, I probably could have, but I didn't want to risk it, is the much more accurate answer. Considering we don't need to, I'm not going to, you know? Ow. Ah, ee, ah. We'll save this booster in case things go awry at some point in double boost. Because there's space on this map to double boost, so I think it will work. It'll be a good in case things go wrong moment for us. I don't think we're gonna need it, but, you know, it helps to have something in place as a just in case. There we go, didn't even need to use either of those boosts. That was actually just a really easy course. That's probably a lot harder on higher difficulties where the enemy drivers are a lot more aggressive. That one was actually really strong on lap 2. Cloud Carpet Icarus Circuit. Oh boy, who's going into the sun? Answer me. This doesn't look terrible. The hairpin down at the bottom's a little scary, and I don't know how to feel about how wide some of those segments up toward the top are. Makes me wonder what's going on with them. Yeah, let's just boost pads and garbage. Yep, kind of figured. It's meant to boost you right into the trash zone. Oh, and there's a jump of death. Because of course there is. It's been a while since we had one of those. 2 of them, in fact. Which I assume is why this is called Icarus Circuit, is because they're going to go flying off into the sun. It'd be kind of neat if you had to touch the healing pads to build your boost up. Like, not even, like, using it as a heal, but, like, in order to charge the boost down there, you had to touch it. That would be an interesting thought. I almost boosted because I just went, you know what, I could get away with that. And then I thought about it some more. I'm like, no, I couldn't have gotten away with that, so it's a good thing I didn't do that. I definitely touched the shoulder buttons like I was gonna do it, though. We don't need to heal, we're fine. Let the roof burn down. I really need to actually hit those boost pads one of these times, potentially. But I feel like that's a trap. It'd be really funny to jump over some of this, or land on somebody off one of these jumps, but I'm really not interested in that idea either. Now, some of you out there might be saying, but Drac, what about the content, though? It'd be a content move. There's not much content to be had in exploding and failing right now, when we could be getting to other games instead, where more things are going to happen. I really am gonna need to heal when we get there. No. Okay. That was almost disastrous. Leaving the ground is a fear. I don't know if I healed enough because I needed to boost away from the one behind me. Not looking good. I'm in danger. Which is about the time where I would love to turn around and say I am the danger, but no, not this time. I am just in danger. Why am I sliding so much? Well, now our vehicle's crippled. Goodbye, everybody. Watch them all as they pass us. This is exactly the end result I was afraid of. Especially when my booster doesn't kick in. Yep, we got pushed out. I got robbed so badly on that one because everybody took a turn bumping me, which pushed us into high enough damage that we lost speed. Caught out right at the end, all because I got too greedy earlier. That's the entire problem. I got greedy in an earlier lap, which put us to health where they could have done that to us. Like, I can't even be mad at the game. That was literally our own fault. Because the lap where I said we didn't need to heal, I was right, I didn't need to heal. But I should have healed on the lap after that a lot better than I did. To make up for my hubris. So it doesn't help that I just kind of, like, power slid into the wall, like, 4 times over here. Which I don't understand, is the floor there is inconsistent, it seems. Because we just drove across it just fine there, for example. And I approached it more or less the same way I did before. Somebody was out there with a magnet waiting for me or something. I don't really know if what I just did there was faster at all or not. Whoops. See, that made sense. Bumping that guy, throwing me off course, makes nothing but sense. Little bastard. Boost away from him. Because otherwise they're just gonna keep coming up and nosing at me again and again, I'm sure. Because that's what I would do if I had the control sufficiently to do that. And not just get immediately punished for doing it. Because that's what I noticed when I tried it earlier, is you just get punished for doing that, because you're the one who ends up going off to one side immediately if you ram somebody's tail. So it just ain't worth it. Pick up a little bit of health. It is interesting how we're off the top of the map when we're on that upper bit of the course. It's like, oh yeah, you're just off map, it's fine. This guy literally was just blocking the fucking road. Somebody disqualify him for obstructing traffic. What do you mean that's his job? Shut up. It's fine. Disqualify his ass anyway. You know what? We take those. I arguably took that faster because of that crash. That turn wide just to avoid the clown cart. Oh boy. And there we go. Much better that time. Yeah, lap 4 was definitely better. Bishop Final. Bianca City Ultimate Circuit. Oh, great. Ending where we started, except worse, huh? Okay. Because Bianca City was where we had the most problems, because that's where we were learning how to play. So it's very interesting that this is coming full circle. But why is it called Ultimate Circuit? What's the trick here? Is it because that turn's really fucky? Because I believe it. That seems to be the only real thing about this course. Oh, I fucked it. I fucked it so badly. God damn it. I slowed down so that guy would hopefully not be, like, in the perfect arc in front of me the whole time. But I guess he slowed down, too, just to stay there, to be a dick. That was very reckless, but it worked. Because what's that phrase? He who dares wins? Something like that? Okay, handled that turn better still. It'd be really nice if my boosts went when I told them to instead of long afterwards, because I have to hit it like 3 or 4 times. God damn you. Just in like the worst place again. On the bright side, having my speed reduced there was actually helpful. We're just not gonna boost here because we don't have to. Use this as an opportunity to get a good chunk of my health back. These fucking guys parked in the middle of shit constantly. Yep, now we're back to low power again. Haha. Just right in the fucking middle of the road over and over again. Well, we'll take second, I guess. Because I couldn't even get my boosters to fire. Second is good enough to qualify, so we'll take it. So there we go, that's Bishop series done too now. Unless there's a series we unlock by having done all of those, we're done. And that's 2 games in 3 hours if that's true. We gotta see how this looks at the end. There's the donation link if you want to donate at all to increase the amount of games I need to beat, or decrease it if you really want to. That will, of course, also influence the timer, etc., etc. Yeah, there's only 3 series, it looks like. Yeah, because there's Time Attack and Champion Replay, which is not what we need. So yeah, I'm gonna assume that counts? It might not count. I'll look into it. Okay, yeah, there is a hidden series. How do you get the hidden series, though? Oh, and there's a bunch of unlockable vehicles, too, of course. Okay, you have to beat Expert. So yeah, no, we're counting this then. That's what that tells me. If it was just like the middle difficulty would have counted, I would have went with that, but we'll take the fact that we cleared the available courses on this difficulty. And that will be game 2. And I will count it on the overall list as well. I'm gonna get up for a quick moment. I probably won't be back in time for the end of the ads since the ads are right there, but I'll be back in just a second. Okay, welcome back from the ads, everybody. We already cleaned up all the bookkeeping. Just gotta switch games, and we'll be back in business. So let's see. Next in line will be probably something that'll take a little bit longer. Is I believe both of those were hour-and-a-half listed ones. Thing is, most of what I picked were either like 2 hour or 1.5, etc. choices in order to ensure that, you know, we could get through this reasonably.